To be free from reactivity in life ultimately is to be free from suffering. We often blindly react to pretty much everything that happens in our life from a place of unawareness, and that results in us being kind of chained to a way of being. There's always trying to compensate, always trying to make up for something missing, always trying to defend ourselves. And really it's rooted in fear, that reactivity is rooted in fear. So I wanted to explore it a little bit, what I mean by freedom from reactivity, and give some really easy, skillful methods to work with reactivity in the present moment. Now, it's not complicated, but I guarantee if you're able to dedicate yourself to these methods, you will find your internal reactivity in the way that you respond in the world change. So reactivity is pretty simple, really. I mean, you can probably sense what I'm talking about when I say it, but something happens, and before you know it, you find yourself saying or doing something in an almost instant reaction. It's not come from a considered place. There's normally not a lot of feeling involved. It's not like, there's deep emotion being felt whilst it's happening. Often the reaction is to try and maybe avoid feeling so deeply. We get a sense in our heart or in our being of an emotional response, and then we just react almost instantly. We react to life. So let's say you drop a bowl of cereal or soup on the floor, and then you can imagine almost instantly going, shit, I can't believe I dropped that soup. No, oh my life, what a day this has been. Why does nothing go right for me? Can you see how almost instantly we've gone from an event happening to this train of reactive thought? And all of that reactive thought, all of that reactivity binds us to a life of suffering, really. Binds us to a life of, being trapped in reactions. Another great example would be being cut up in traffic. I know that happens quite a lot for anyone who drives. Somebody will come in from a different lane, not give you any indication, and you can almost instantly feel you just in that reactive mode, like, God damn it, get out of my way, screaming and really like wishing ill to a stranger often. And nothing bad's really happened, just somebody did something you didn't want them to, ultimately. So we don't notice how much time we spend in this place of reactivity, just reacting to life, as opposed to creatively responding in life. So maybe you can feel the difference in what I'm saying there. So a reactive or reacting to life is kind of this instinctual, heedless, unaware, just jolt, really. And it normally comes from a non-acceptance of whatever's just happened, or from fear, like trying to protect ourselves. Whereas we have the opportunity to creatively respond to life, to feel the way things are in any moment, and with patience let our heart and our being respond with skill, and well-being, like well wishes for the world. But we can't do it unless we're aware of how we react. So mindfulness goes a long way. You don't need a really, really deep mindfulness practice. You can have one. It will definitely benefit you. But you just need to bring a bit of mindfulness to the flavour of day-to-day experience. So when something happens in life, let's say I trip over a curb and I do a little stumble outside. You can see how that would bring about like a, damn, I can't believe that happened, like an instant reaction. See if we can catch that moment where there's a feeling before the reaction. There's a feeling tone, and that feeling is normally one of three things. It's like good, oh, I like this is pleasurable. Bad, I don't like this is not pleasurable. Or neutral, it's kind of like a not really much going on, like a bit of a still, dead feeling tone. And then if we can feel those feelings, see if we can be with those feelings without reacting to them. Just feel what it is like in the moment to be with whatever's arising. And know that actually I don't need to react to anything. You see, it's that needless and I would say unaware habit of reactivity that binds us, really deeply binds us to a life of suffering. We're always trying to compensate. We're always trying to fix the situation. And we're always feeling scared that something's going to happen and I need to be ready. I need to be braced, ready to react to whatever's happening. Whereas creative responsiveness isn't that. It comes from a place of soft availability to feel the way things are in a moment and then to allow creativity to guide us, It's like a wisdom that isn't bound by a fearful self. It's a wisdom that's bound, well, not bound at all actually, but it's comes from the depth of knowing, presence and knowing. So I said I'd give a couple of skills to work with. So these are super simple. I'll give two examples. The first one is kind of, I'd say the easiest to work with because you get a bit of space. And that's working online with reactivity when engaging with content like this. So you may see a video on YouTube, you may see a post on Facebook, somebody's written some information and you feel a need to say something. You think, right, I'm going to type something immediately because they need to hear it. Now it might be, I need to tell them how much I hate them and how wrong they are. Or I need to show how much more I know than that person. Or I need to have a comment online somewhere that other people like. Can you see where we're coming from here? It's like there's this need to react to something that we've experienced. Okay? So the first example of how to work with that, if you feel that need, just stop. Take a moment. Don't type anything. Don't say anything. Feel that urgency and be with it. Tend to it. And maybe even say, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to stay with this feeling. What would it be like to just tend to the feeling instead of abandoning myself to try and react in the world? Now take it slowly, but yeah, just try and explore. And it's been my experience that the more I'm able to not respond from a place of needing and instead take my time and respond from a place of giving, like wanting to give something and build connection in the world, well, yeah, the better life goes and the freer I feel. So that's step one. So working online. Now, the reason I said that's step one is because actually there's space, isn't there? You're online, it's not immediate. The next step is where it becomes more immediate. You could say more difficult, if you like, because our reactivity is so much more online, and that's face to face, in person with others. So you can see, and you've probably had loads of experiences where a loved one or a family member says something, and that's it. Before you know it, you're reacting. They've pushed all your buttons and you're going, you're always like this. I can't believe you said that again. And then you're trying to justify yourself, or you're trying to put them down, or you're trying to win an argument. You know, it's the same urge as well. It's the same impulse. I need to say something. I've got to be this way. I've got to respond or react immediately. And it's, again, coming from a place of fear often. Fear of not being met, fear of not being satisfied, fear of not being enough, fear of losing somebody. Whatever it is, though, there's a deeper feeling that sits beneath that need. So once you've got a little bit of practice of not reacting immediately to the things that happen in life, let's say online, like I said before, give it a go with, people face to face in the moment, and see if you can be with the feelings that arise in the conversation with another without needing to react. See if you can give them the space to express themselves and give you the attention and the awareness that you deserve. You know, we deserve to witness and, explore our own feelings without just running away into reactivity. So see if you can just be with the way things are inside our own being, in our own hearts, emotionally, physically, and just not react. And I guarantee the more you're able to work with this, the freer and freer you will feel. Instead of feeling chained to a life of immediate habitual becoming and reactivity, one where we just find ourselves being dragged from one reaction to another, we'll feel more of a part of it all, actually, more of a part of life, more collaborative, more engaged, closer to ourselves, closer to others. And if we can be free from reactivity completely, which is a big ask, I know, but you start small, you work with what's right in front of you. But if you can be free from reactivity completely, as in be in any situation, anywhere, with anyone, and not have any need to react, just allow creativity to respond, this is freedom from suffering.